Hello, guys. One of the first things people wonder about when starting to trade or to play with the stocks is about how much money do I have to have in order to start, and what would be logical to start with, and so on. I've heard many people suggest something like 10,000 or even 1,000 or something like that. But from the perspective of a single mom, I'm going to say that you have to determine this kind of amount that is precisely for you meaningful enough for you to check on your stocks and on your investments or trades, so that you would feel a little bit sting if you're going to lose something or some of that money and get emotionally attached to it, but not too much in the beginning so that you wouldn't lose it, because it is highly possible that you're going to lose a lot of cash in the very beginning, especially when you're learning about ins and out of how to operate even within the apps. So for me, frankly, this kind of threshold was about 20 to 50 euros. And in fact, I have looked through different apps in the beginning, and I have looked through eToro, through Robinhood, through Revolut, and all kind of things like that. But in there, you had to put 250 euros minimum. So basically, somebody suggested to me this app, capital.com. And in this app, you actually can load from as little as 20 euros. And it was also very important for me that to check whether or not the money is withdrawable and what are the costs that are associated with withdrawing, because that's not something that you can actually see in any or in many of the apps. Upon the sign up, you can only see that while you're actually withdrawing some money. So it was very important for me to kind of see for myself what would be the cost of withdrawing, what would be the cost of depositing, what are the fees, how does that work, and so on. So basically, I started with capital.com because it was possible to start this journey from as little as 20 euros. It opens you automatically something that's called a demo account. What is a demo account? It is essentially something where you have a paper money, like money in Monopoly game, with which you can play, of course. And I see in here, let's buy some Ether. I pressed buy, and then you press buy, and voila, your first purchase has been done with paper money. Then when you go to the live accounts, you can add in there also multiple accounts, just like you can have multiple demo accounts. And if you start with the paper money to see how this works and you feel confident that everything is working quite okay, then you can move to the live accounts. I'm not going to start showing you my live accounts because in there, when you start one, you have to do your know your KYC or know your client. So you have to add your documents and so on. So you have to go through this process of opening actual brokerage or an account in which you can buy securities. Capital.com is actually not selling shares and cryptos. It's actually dealing with selling contracts for difference. So basically what you are selling and buying is this kind of agreements between two parties that something will rise or fall. It's sort of like options, but not quite. And in here, you can also see, you can set for yourself what kind of margins you're having. Are you buying it with a leverage? Ooh, it allows us to buy the leverage with 20 to 1 for Ethereum. That's not normal for Ethereum in in live account. I think the 2-to-1 was the leverage in live account. So bear that in mind. But that's actually one of those things that you're not going to learn from the demo account, that not everything is available with very high leverage. Some of the products are, and some of the products are not. So as you can see, I did a very, very good move. Why did I decide to press buy? Because there was we have an uptrend during the day. Ether is 2.8 on plus, and we haven't seen really the signs of it going the other direction, and we had some kind of stabilization of the price, which was indicating that there will be some kind of breakout. So this is why I pressed buy. I have actually in my live account, I have very similar bet going on at the moment. Why should you learn how to operate the app before actually investing larger amounts of money? Essentially because you don't know how the app is working. And by that, I mean, it has happened to me, and it has happened to one of my best friends who has been also using this app, that she essentially started to click something, edit, close, and then, for example, in such beautiful moment where we have a breakout, instead of letting it to break out, she closed the position. Like yesterday, I accidentally pressed sell from, like, for example, from here, and I pressed sell, and I had multiple positions open on Ether at different price levels, and it closed the one that was in minus instead of the one that was in plus. Okay, and now we can, like, for example, sell. And so we are seeing that we have gotten plus 0.01 cent gain. For some of you, this can be fun and thrilling. I remember how it felt for me with my first 50 euros when, oh my God, within a couple of minutes, I had a couple of cents more, and then I had 20 cents more, or I could make $1 or something like that. That was very thrilling. And when you start thinking about it in terms of percentages, so one of the mistakes that a rookie can make is, for example, okay, we do the buy and we buy our thing. And then when you are in the app, for example, because you're doing it from the phone, because you're a mom on the run and you're cooking and your child is screaming, and you just open the app and then you see that your position is on plus, or that it's dropping below what you wanted, and you forgot your stop loss, because that's another problem we're going to be covering in another video. You hit that sell button. But if, for example, the situation with Ether is somehow frantic, like it has been, I think, in June, and I think in March, I have experienced something like that, and in September as well. Essentially, when there's too many transactions going on at the same time in this app or worldwide around Ether, there's something that's observed as, let's say, a delay in recording of position opening and closing and something like that. So basically you press sell and you don't see that it has sold. You get the information on the prompt that you have your order of sell has been accepted, but you don't see it happen. So you see either a minus going down or a plus going up, and you see it as if your position is open. So to all of my folks who have actually in their life pressed 7 times play on something that is stuck, and I know you are out there, and I have been one myself, some of you are going to press that sell multiple times. Newsflash, please don't. If you press sell multiple times, what it can do in this app is especially if you have activated this one-click sale, it's going to sell your position and then it's going to short another one. But because of the delay in the system, you lose control on what's actually happening to your position. So this is why it's going to be extremely important on how to open the position and how to close it, how to protect your loss, how to protect your profits, and how to sort of manage the situation as we are going. Well, in this case, it turned out very good for us because, you know, I sold and now the position is going down, Ether is going down, so I have a short. What does that mean is that I have sold it when it was high and now I'm waiting for the price to go down in order for me to buy it. So this is something that is called short selling. And it's very useful if you're using it knowingly, but if you're doing it by an accident, it can cost you quite a lot of money when the position starts going the other direction to what you actually wanted it to do. So to sum up, first, you can open the demo account and try to play with the fake money. But the fact is, and I have done that in the past, realistically, you're going to forget that you have this paper money. You're not emotionally attached to this money. You're not as excited as any gains that you have in this money. So it requires from you a lot of how would I put it? A lot of self-determination to continue that. So if you have a real plan that every day at 18 you're going to go and check on your stocks and you're going to try to make some kind of a gain in there, then by all means do that. Use the demo account. But if it's not enough to motivate you to check on the money, to check on the market, it's not going to be a good option. It would be better to invest even some kind of smallest amount of money, 20, 30 euros, buy 1 or 2 stocks, even without the leverage, and then to follow them every day. Why? Why is it important? Essentially, the more time you spend looking at the graphs, the more time you see, follow the charts, and are emotionally kind of invested, you learn things not only about the market, but also about yourself. What are your fears? How would you react in such a situation? When you see something dropping, would you panic and already sell it in here and close the position? And then you can kind of sit with that and think like, was this a good decision? Was there something that I could have done differently? And essentially the loss that you're going to endure at the end of the day, even if you lose your whole money of 20 to 50 euros, it's going to be equivalent of going out once to a fancy restaurant for a dinner. So it's not that big of a loss, and yet it engages you emotionally. So this is why I would suggest loading a little bit of cash and trying to play with maybe some small stocks, like let's say Okugen or Okujin, or however that is spelled. I had also GoPro in here. We're going to be talking about the stocks trading when the market is actually open. I'm recording this on the weekend, so the stock market is actually closed for the moment. So thank you very much for watching this. If you like this kind of content, drop a like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you liked something, or with a question, or with something to cover in different videos. Thank you very much. See you soon.